For the past year, as I said on TikTok and everywhere else, I was obsessed with someone else. But I never intended to leave my relationship to go live with that other person. This happened because the other person expressed their feelings to me, and basically I felt that if I didn't do this, I would lose him completely. Because the way things had turned out, I had to choose. I was led to a dead end where I had to pick one or the other. And me, because I was really obsessed in those days, basically my obsession pushed me to choose the other person. I was shocked because I never expected him to respond, since he said he was a monk. If you remember, I don't know if you followed him, he said he didn't have relationships with women and that for the next 10 years he said, he would never have a relationship with a woman. So I was shocked and I thought, wow, I actually managed to inspire him to stop that, and he tells me that he wants me.
What I didn't like about the other person was that I felt betrayed by them, and I still feel betrayed. Because when someone tells you, I see you as a friend, they can't later want to sleep with you. They've already lost the game.
It's best we don't see each other again or things will get complicated. At first he tried to do that too, but in the end he didn't stick to it, he couldn't handle it, and after a few hours he texted me and told me he couldn't stick to it.
I use it for the seizures above.
Welcome to FtaklakisTalks. In today's episode, I'm joined by Ioannina.
Good evening, glad to be here.
Thank you very much, guys, for being with me today. I believe it will be an interesting interview for people who may not know you.
To find out what
exactly you do then, Vasilis, and...
Cut.
I want to know a little about your childhood.
Oh, interesting.
I want us to go a little further back than before. When you first met me?
Oh, okay, should I start? Okay. Look, the truth is, based on my childhood, no one would expect me to be doing what I do today because I was an excellent student at school. What we call the teacher's pet, always the attendance monitor, the flag bearer, things like that. And then when I got into university, I was the top student in my department in mathematics. It's just that somewhere along the way, I also met Gatoli, who I'm with now. And seeing various things at university, I realized that I couldn't continue on what we call the normal path. It didn't feel like me anymore, and it wasn't fulfilling. Unsure how else to say it, I decided to risk everything and focus on creating content since we only live once.
I want you to tell me a bit about your childhood.
Me? Okay. Now, as for what I used to do in the past, I took part in math competitions. I was involved. I'm really into math. I got into the math department. I met Gata. Okay, those years were also during the pandemic, something like that. I didn't like the whole situation with the restrictions, with the online stuff, with all that. And I was in a phase, where I kept postponing my studies. Then I got into chess for a while. Then I got into crypto for a bit, which didn't go well for me because I didn't take it seriously. I also tried dropshipping for a bit, but I only made 30 euros.
That's a big success. At least you didn't lose anything.
You could say I almost lost subtitles by AuthorWave.
So you wanted to find a way to make money?
Yes, I was kind of thinking that way because I saw that, let's say, there wasn't any job that offered a satisfactory income. I was watching content all day. Meanwhile, on one hand, I would watch, Damien in Dubai. And on the other hand, I would watch on the other hand, I would watch others who talked about drop shipping. I was constantly watching whatever I could. Like, everyone tells you, let's say, how to make money, how to flirt with women. Different people would tell you different things. I was at a point where I was watching all that, and at the same time, I was watching content, like watching Chris Kogia, watching any YouTuber who was at their peak back then. I could watch even 10 hours of content a day.
So basically, you didn't like your life and you wanted to change it somehow to make more.
No, I really liked my life and I liked math, I liked competitions and everything. I just realized, let's say, that if I wanted to do some things I liked, like let's say spending time with friends. I liked playing chess, now I'm not really interested in that anymore, but I need to have some financial comfort. And I noticed, let's say, that everyone has a very different perspective when it comes to money. All those people I mentioned to you and I say, they all have one thing in common, all of them. Anyway, they create content, I don't know, either they teach a skill or they create content about themselves. And they'll be YouTubers, have sponsorships, I don't know what, or they'll have a subscription, anything. I saw that there's this thing we call an audience, social media. So I see the common denominator and I say, that's what we'll do.
Take me for example. I'll ask you, did you, when you were young, want to get involved with mathematics?
I've gone through many phases when I was young. I wanted to become a teacher. I really loved teaching. Okay, then I started to realize that if I became a teacher, somehow it just wasn't enough. How can I say it? It felt too little. I felt that I wouldn't have fulfilled a really big goal. And I've always been good at teaching, even from a young age. In middle school, teachers sometimes had me teach the class. Yes, it was very easy for me. Okay, it's too easy for me. Of course, I have also done private lessons in previous years, but I say it's not just that. I mean, I want something more. I always had, let me tell you a little, well, I wouldn't call it arrogance. When I was little, for example, I used to pretend to be a presenter. I generally liked speaking. I liked being in front of an audience. I mean, I'm comfortable with speaking in front of people. So I think that everything we're doing now, in the end, gives meaning and fulfills this desire of mine.
Let's say that's it, more or less, more or less. Besides that, I liked the content too, since I was already watching it. And to do it, I mean, it was something I would do easily because I'd already seen it all.
I mean, when you were younger, didn't you make content?
No, but I was obsessed with TikTok. I mean, in contrast, we noticed that people my age would watch more YouTube, but I, for example, was really obsessed with TikTok. I mean, during the lockdown, I was scrolling on TikTok all day, or back in 2018, 2019, I was one of the very few who watched TikTok.
Sure, you remember before it was even called TikTok?
It wasn't called TikTok back then, it had just become TikTok.
I want to ask, did you finish college? No? Oh, you dropped out?
I did the first year, I passed all the courses. In the second year, I took the first round of exams, I passed 3 out of 4, and then the fourth one, I spent semesters studying. It's not that I didn't make it,
You can definitely pass it.
Sure, I just stopped studying.
Did you do it too?
No, I did 3 months, I didn't even go to the exams.
I haven't passed a single class.
Yeah, I completely gave up at the beginning. I mean, my mind was completely elsewhere.
So, I want you to tell me now, did you meet each other in the first year?
We said yes in the online classes. I was trying to find people who would go out despite the pandemic, even just for a to-go coffee, and I'd set up some group chats.
Yes, I saw it there on the platform where we were having the online class. I was told to message Bill Craniotis about the group chat, so I did and asked to be added. He then invited me to join some people from Ioannina for coffee, and we went out. At first, though, we didn't go out as a couple. I mean, I hadn't even really liked him at first.
Did I like her afterwards?
Yeah, didn't you like me? No.
I thought you were a real nerd,
After a few months, he began sending more personal messages and insisted we go out alone. At first, though, I wasn't interested in him and I didn't easily agree to go out with him. You must have asked me 3 or 4 times before I finally agreed to go out with you, right?
Yeah, did I ask you a lot?
Yeah. And do you know why I agreed? Because one time I had a problem and I messaged him. And he listened to me about my problem. And I was impressed by how maturely he listened to me and by how right and smart the advice he gave me was.
Then, even when we went out together, we talked about it again. And that's how, let's say, he got attached to me.
Well, okay, he got attached to you and you too.
The cat got attached, got attached, got attached.
And how does all this happen? Do you make content together?
Look, when we both realized that, for different reasons, things with the university weren't going to work out, we slowly started looking for something to do together. Because also, as I've mentioned in the live I did, where I explained this whole story that happened recently, we were together all day, so we couldn't not be together all day. I mean, we kind of had a little problem.
We still do.
I mean, we still do. We go everywhere together. The only place we don't go together is the bathroom.
Can I go to the bathroom now? Take a little break? Go to the bathroom? That's a good life.
Do you want to go to the bathroom now?
So now, what was I asking you again? Yes?
I remember what I was saying. So, since we were together all day and we could not be together, we started to realize that if we didn't connect professionally, if we didn't do something professionally together, things wouldn't work out.
Yes, something like that. Even before, when we had work, let's say for 2 or 3 months, me and Gata, how long was it? 6 months? For 6 months. Up until then, let's say we had worked together unofficially, I mean.
Yes, he, let's say, had a job as a mobile phone promoter. He didn't.
I couldn't even sell a single line.
I would do the job myself. It was very...
For example, I would work 2 hours, then after she finished at the perfume shop and had 2 more hours left, we'd do the job together for 2 hours. Had I made nothing on a single line? Had I sold, not sold, given away?
Give people gifts?
Why were we giving them away as gifts?
Yes, you couldn't even get them to take it as a gift.
She sold 6 or 7 lines. She was amazing, even though she had just been fired from that job a few days earlier.
Yes, basically we both got a job as mobile phone promoters. As for me, they fired me because I wasn't making numbers at my post, but because his was different and it was for students. I got a job at a perfume shop, and at the same time in the afternoon I was doing his job as well. The boss didn't know that I was doing the job. If there had been a labor inspection and we were caught, both of us would have said yes.
So you were doing these jobs and at the same time slowly getting involved with the party.
No, was this 8 months before the content? Yes.
That's when we started.
That's when we started.
We understand that we have to do something that we really do together. Yes, I mean, it shouldn't be, and it shouldn't have any limits. Yes, what do you have?
Nothing. Like this, I just have a relaxed posture.
Just don't tell him you can't.
I can't not tell him.
What will happen now?
I can't not tell him.
Do you really think about what's wrong with you? Well, do I have to have those things?
And more than that,
Do you want me to give you some? Nothing.
Luvadia, what's wrong? Do you have anything? Strong bar, can they hear? Nothing. Whatever you have. Don't say it. So, how many minutes? Subtitles by Authorwave, Okateris, Octosia, Symphonitkach. Previous subtitles will be removed.
Authorwave subtitles. And why do you have to eat to get over your crisis?
It starts with not having eaten, but isn't there a small gift or something?
Yes.
For some reason I didn't have. Yes.
That's why I don't drink coffee either. I'll just drink water.
Will you drink water? Did she give you water here? Who? Water?
Let's not keep up this act. I'm not sure why, but I thought of it.
I think you look just fine anyway.
Is there something wrong? Is it something with Soleni?
No, absolutely nothing. She doesn't have any silliness in her head.
It's about panic, like I've said in a video.
Don't bring him over. I know him well. He'll be fine in 2 minutes.
Have you seen my video about a panic attack?
I've seen some things.
I just wanted to discover some things together with you.
All right. Okay. So let me continue what I was saying. We realized that if we don't do something together, things won't work out. So since he already had a YouTube channel from before, which he ran by himself and spoke a little in front of the camera, basically just because of the pandemic, and because of all that, we thought about continuing together. We just had this channel and we were like, what are we going to do? Well, since we don't have a budget or a space, we'll do interviews outside on the street, and that's how we started.
So you start out on the street doing interviews? How did that go?
Very well, given the circumstances. I mean, can you imagine what I mean?
Jan, when we started, we said we would bring it to the provinces. At first, we had also gone on a trip to Trika, and we had also gone to Arta once. This thing was going really well. I mean...
Yeah, for a channel that had 500, 700 subscribers, we were getting 2,000 or 3,000 views, 4,000, we started doing well. The subscribers started going up. But slowly we started to realize that the only topic that brings the most views is sex.
Yeah, that's a fact. And so we started asking people about those kinds of things all the time.
Back then, didn't you have some kind of paid subscription thing?
No, we hadn't set that up yet. That came a few months later after the whole 23-24 season was over. In June of 24, did an accident happen anyway?
Yeah, an accident in bed. We went to the hospital, we made a video for Monday because we didn't have anything else to post. And I said, now, I don't want to make this public, let's not post it even for €1. And I said, should we think of a catchy name? What should I say? Ask Your Analogous, the one who loves Ask Your Analogous.
Yes, but it has a double meaning. It's both the one who loves Ask Your Analogous and is Ask Your Analogous. We're the lovers, you know?
Didn't I get it? Think about it.
It's amazing.
But they're all mongrels. Randomly, just like that, so quickly. Bam, I thought of it, yes.
You're analogous and it starts like that. And on the first day, 3 people take it. And in the first week, 10 people take it. So we say, even with just one video, imagine that. So we say, okay, we'll just tell all the really extreme stories since we already had a lot of extreme stories from previous years anyway. We said since we hadn't shared those stories anywhere, we'd tell them for €1. And that's how it started on YouTube. We said yes.
On YouTube, not another platform.
A YouTube subscription.
Yes, and you've had it for 2 years, so now...
It's almost 2 years. In June, it will be 2 years.
Okay, so you do a series where you explain things that happen in bed, I don't know.
Yes, yes, yes.
We used to call it things we couldn't say in public.
We had extreme stories anyway. I mean, not even planned ones in bed.
We had really extreme stories, especially from the beginning of the relationship. Maybe these are things that couples don't dare to admit to each other, in general. Yes, and that's kind of how, let's say,
People related to it. They felt that what we're saying, that we dare to come out and say these things in front of the camera. And today, that's what we're daring to do. To be honest with each other.
I want to ask now, did you expect to have such an impact?
I expected it from the very first day. As soon as I saw 3 subscribers for one video, I said, okay, that's it. This is going to reach 100,000 subscribers. Now it's already over 20,000. That's a lot. It's quite a lot.
I have to say I didn't expect it, not with the subscription side of it. I just didn't expect it with the content in general. When we started, I didn't expect that it could reach so high so quickly. Because for us, imagine, even after, how can I say it, 6 or 7 months of doing this, people had already started to recognize us on the street and greet us. TikTok boosted us a lot. I mean, at the same time as the videos on YouTube with the street interviews, we had also started to share our lives and our daily routines. On TikTok, it started to show that we are unique people, that we have, a special sense of humor.
Unique interest like me, how I'm into subways.
That's how we started. We gained an audience on TikTok where people knew us as TikTokers and later began doing live streams there too. Gradually, people started seeing us there. People started greeting us on the street. I mean, already from the summer of 24, a lot of people were greeting us on the street.
Do you want me to say that I think the people who watch you aren't just young, but older as well?
Are they 18, 19, 20, mostly those ages?
No, it was like that at first. Now, even older people watch us. Everyone does, since even older people greet us on the street.
My accountant told me to have you do it.
How much does he want?
To consider is...
35?
40.
Can't you see? She's much older, way older. Do you think this is for our age group?
All right, people at the accounting office watch us now too. And I mean, for example, some are 50 or 60, some are even 40.
All right, okay then.
See?
What's broken?
I'm having a really bad panic attack.
That's not a panic attack. A real one makes it hard to breathe. We discussed this yesterday. Take 5 minutes, then continue, okay?
Yes, I want to take 5 minutes for myself. Basically, what's suffocating me is that we have a marker, 7.
Don't let it suffocate you, okay? Instead of suffocating your name here again, Costas, is it suffocating you? Why are you wearing a jacket?
Yeah? I don't know, Kostas. Were you nervous before the interview?
There's always some anxiety. Did you feel it too?
Not really.
Come on.
And if Costas has it, do we have to get it too? Costas doesn't have a panic attack. He's a professional, can't you see? Costas actually said everything just fine in the end. Oh, Costas, don't pay attention to him. In 2 minutes, he'll be just fine. I've been through all that myself.
Does he have something? Candy? Candy has sugar. It helps.
If you find some, is there plain sugar too?
I know, no, I've heard that candy helps for panic attacks. Do you have it?
What did you find in this video?
Do you remember your Uncle Kostas? Panic attacks and taking sugar?
Do you remember those? And me? Didn't I have a panic attack?
With ouzo too?
What do you mean, Uzo?
Does it have ouzo? Didn't you see it?
Didn't I think of it?
Don't you drink alcohol, huh? We had a lot left. That you started, the subscription went really well. In just a week, 10 subscribers already.
Yes, yes.
Have you reached 20,000 now?
Yes, I mean, we were at, let's say, 12 or 13,000 and now it went up to 20.
After that story that happened recently? Yes.
Yes, okay, of course I believe that there are always ups and downs in these things. I mean, now it's 20,000, tomorrow it might be 10,000, the day after tomorrow it could be 15,000, it could go even higher, I don't know. A lot of different scenarios can happen with these things.
Was the biggest one 20 or 30,000?
No, the biggest one is the current one.
All right then, I want you to tell me a bit about what you have in mind. I mean, for the future, in the future, what are your plans? Are you going to create a brand? Are you going to make something? Anything?
We've thought about maybe making merch like t-shirts, but for that we need a shop, right? It requires amending our existing company's bylaws, we need a cash register, and generally it takes some setup for the whole thing. So let's say I'm at that stage right now.
It will bring in money?
But will it bring in money? I don't know. Maybe it will, maybe it won't, but it's definitely something that people are asking for.
We've already made some shirts, we've made them for ourselves, so most likely we'll just release them for people to be able to buy.
Yeah, I mean, maybe even new ones, new designs, new ideas from recent events. There's a lot we can do.
So, do you want to talk a bit about your relationship now?
Yes.
What have you faced? How did this issue come up now?
Yes.
Because I believe when a relationship faces something like this,
Yes.
and you're now back together, it means you have a strong relationship, right?
Yes, there is a lot of love between us. Our love is timeless and deep. And the truth is, I could not forgive her because I understand that she was under pressure in her family environment. And it's okay.
Look, I'll tell you this. We had a 5-year relationship, and in the last year, as I said on TikTok and everywhere else, I was obsessed with someone else, but I had no intention of leaving my relationship to go live with the other person. This happened because the other person expressed their feelings to me, and basically, I felt that if I didn't do this, I would lose him completely. Because the way things had turned out, I had to choose. I was basically led to a dead end where I had to choose one or the other. And me, because I was really obsessed in those days, basically my obsession pushed me to choose the other person. At first,
I mean, he also did it a bit so he wouldn't lose the other person and the other person. It was very stressful. I felt a lot of pressure toward Gata
okay, he also really wanted me to go, so
to an excessive degree.
he really wanted me to go. I mean, I could tell that basically, and the fact that he was a bit more intense in his messages and all that was because he really wanted to.
Anyway, there was one thing I didn't like about the other person. I felt like he betrayed me, and I still feel like he betrayed me. Because when someone tells you they see you as a friend, they can't then want a blowjob from you, they've already lost the game. So, is that harsh?
That, honestly, from my side, I can't understand it.
Honestly, no. It is harsh because we were really close by then.
We were friends for a year, but I never intended, even though I had a crush, I never intended to show it. I only discussed videos, content, and hanging out with him. I never planned to meet him alone, never did, and the cat was always with me.
But still, the situation was a bit weird. Sometimes knowing that you liked him at first.
Huh? Yes, but nothing ever happened between us.
Like a romantic thing, but no, he never gave any reason.
But he himself says that he only started liking me in the last month.
He never gave any reason. And it was a situation where I felt deeply betrayed by the other person, not just by Gata. Because you can't have a man telling you now, I'm your friend, I see you as my brother, I see you as my son. I mean, come on.
And he even said he wanted to marry us. In fact, I love your relationship.
I'm glad you're happy together. I want to officiate your wedding. And then when you ask him, he insists so much. Didn't you say you love me too? And he says, but I do love her. Things are getting a bit out of hand. Friendship goes out the window. And in general, that kind of respect between men. That I respect my friend's girlfriend, I respect my friend's ex. I mean a friend's girlfriend, a friend's ex, a friend's sister, a cousin's ex, things like that. That's how I am. I believe that as men, we should have some kind of code like that, don't you think? And similarly, women should have that kind of solidarity among themselves too.
But okay, what he was saying and what I thought too was that the feeling is too strong for us to be able to fight it.
But I think that principles should come first, above certain feelings. If it ever happened to me, I would say that I would distance myself both from the friendship and from the other thing. Would I ghost them? Maybe. Or maybe I just say I don't want to be friends anymore.
The craziest part is that he messaged me saying he started seeing me differently and thinks we shouldn't meet again because it would complicate things. At first he tried to do the same thing, but he gave up. After a few hours, he messaged me saying he couldn't go through with it.
Let's stop for a moment.
What's wrong now, sweetheart?
Should I wait? Thank you. I use it for the seizures, it seems.
So she had sent a message and told me that basically she can't keep this up.
How long do you think now?
This happened 3 weeks ago. He couldn't stand us not seeing each other. And since I also had feelings and seeing that he did too, I was kind of shocked because I never expected it. To respond because he said he was a monk, if you remember. Yes, I don't know if you followed him. He always claimed he'd avoid relationships with women for the next 10 years. So I was shocked to learn I inspired him to change his mind, and now he wants me. That's how I got involved and started responding. The cat saw the messages from day one. They never hid them from him.
He keeps sending messages, he sends them to my girl.
So you were showing them to him?
I showed them to him from day one. I didn't want any secrets. I wanted to be upfront with him. I decided to try it with the other guy, and I would like, to let it go, but the cat wasn't taking it that easily.
Yeah, no, I wasn't taking it easily because I was also in a phase. It wasn't going to end well for someone who wants to take his friend's girl. I don't think that if someone has, let's say, this thought, he'll treat the girl perfectly. That's my logic. I mean, if he pressures her, like, don't talk to this guy, don't talk to that guy, in the social circle, a bit like that. Control, you get it? Are these assumptions? I mean, whenever I hear things like that, I always assume that something's going on.
So you were sending him messages? Did you also send him a threatening message?
Not a threatening message?
I told him, hey teacher, I loved you and saw you as a friend. I forgive you, but don't send them again.
I don't want us to hang out anymore.
And don't send them again. I know, because otherwise I'll go out and say that you sent them.
That she didn't really feel him in the end. And okay, did she do a stream with him where they went together? I don't know.
Yeah, but the thing is that I would go and tell him not to listen to him. I won you. Me, I liked what I saw in him, that he is very calm, that he is very composed, that he is not afraid of anything. All these things had really attracted me to him. However, okay, obviously when you've only met someone in a group of friends, when you try to become a couple, things might be a little different. So in the end, we didn't match as a couple at all, and I changed my mind in the end.
Anyway, she's an adult woman, so no matter what I said, obviously. I couldn't force her to stay, and I wasn't trying to convince her to come back by force either.
Vasilis, can you imagine your life without Alexandra?
Yes.
So you could be single?
I couldn't imagine it before this, but now, yes, I can picture it because I choose to. I stay purely because I love her, and I believe that together we can be much better. In general, we love each other very much, and overall, I would say something else that's unusual for a couple. We help each other grow.
Yes, because a lot of couples are toxic, and we see
that there have also been toxic elements between us. It's just that we've reached a stage where we can recognize them. So, do I see my own toxic traits? Does she see hers? I would say I mostly see my own toxic traits, but I think she's on a really good path. And Alexandra, yes.
Kitty, but I regretted what I did, and I'm really very happy that you forgave me. Because it really wouldn't be worth it to ruin 5 years over a mistake that lasted 2 weeks or 2 days.
What I said comes from home. Being obsessed with people, like you are now with the Awakener, or before with me or some friends, starts at home. As we've told you, there are various reasons that I notice as a third-party observer in family relationships that cause, let's say, this phenomenon. And for her as well, because as she herself has noticed, the panic attacks I experience and some health anxieties come from the fact that deep down my father is hypochondriac. He just never admits it, he keeps it inside.
Did you get that too?
I got that too, let's say. And in general, I've often seen my parents from a young age being afraid that they have something without ever actually having it. That's the main thing, without ever having faced even a single serious health issue.
Just like you?
Just like me, something had happened to me, but it was very fleeting. It was from a virus or something, I don't know. It went away immediately.
I want to move on to another topic and hear your opinion on it. What is money to you? Money, what does it mean to you?
For me, I would say it's the freedom to do whatever I want and not have to work certain hours or anything like that. Basically, the only reason I want money is because without money, you can't live without working. For example, if someone told me that starting tomorrow I could live without working, I wouldn't care about money. I don't want it as a means of power or control, and I can't understand, for example, those people who want to have billions. I don't want to have billions. I just want to have enough to live my life freely and comfortably.
Personally, I have a slightly different perspective. For me, money is one component of freedom, but freedom has many components. The number one component is having your health. The number two component is not having. Let's say doing strange activities to make money, like becoming a dealer. I think that's very wrong. It's also immoral. In the end, no matter how wealthy you are, you lack freedom. Take Pablo Escobar, for example. No matter how much money he had, how many cigars he smoked, how many villas he owned, how many yachts he had, how many helicopters, no matter how many women, whatever he enjoyed, anything, he was constantly living with the stress that the police were after him. When the money isn't truly yours, you have a problem. And I'm taking it even further. I'm taking it to another level. I'm in favor of having all our money declared, because even then you're not free. If you don't have your money declared, then you get hit with, I don't know, a 90% fine and you'll lose most of your money. You're finished, you have no freedom anymore. Now you have debts. Debts aren't freedom, and you even have illegal debts. So I'm at a point where money, legal money, the kind that's declared and comes from activities that are legal and ethical. In general, they don't harm another person. You should never harm another person with your actions, and there aren't legal activities that might harm someone even a little.
Let me ask, how much money do you feel is enough to make you feel secure?
Inflation is such that I can't give you a specific amount. What I can tell you is that I just try to keep up. Principles, Robert Kiyosaki, Grant Cardone, and principles from entrepreneurs who have talked about self-improvement, who have talked about business in their books. I've read the same books and I follow the principles that say work, not for money, but for assets. If you haven't managed to do the following things, to make money while you're preparing, to have more than one source of income, and to own assets, like some houses, like some stocks, like money, anything that generates extra money for you, you haven't secured what we call financial freedom at any given moment. You might go back to a 9 to 5, you might lose them. And there's also inflation, which keeps rising and will continue to rise, so I follow these principles. But beyond that, in no way will money bring you happiness. I believe that 100% we've seen it.
When I left, of course,
I mean, I chose, let's say, to have you come back, to accept you. I chose love over continuing to make, let's say, a lot of money, seeing my own pain, and going somewhere else. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I would have made more if you hadn't accepted me.
Because I would have found another girl. A profile, the profile?
Yeah.
But it's my profile too.
That's actually the issue now,
But it is. But did we agree on it? I mean, before he left, did you make some kind of agreement between you? Us? We're 50-50. Yes.
We have a company, but the channel is their channel.
Alexandra had said, let's say that she would leave, that she would step down, and we had also told the accountant I had made the mistake, and we had said that Alexandra would step down and I would turn it into some kind of sole proprietorship. I would do something, I don't know, maybe some home business, I don't know what we would do. And we had said that I would have a solo career on YouTube.
It didn't happen.
It's certain, I mean, based on what I know from marketing and all that this thing would be much more interesting for people. Nevertheless, I chose my love, I chose less. I also chose the risk of losing a lot of subscribers. Because they supposedly think that all of this was a lie, while it wasn't a lie, it was all true. And based on the panic attack I had earlier here in the studio, do you actually see any stress? It's a fact that I chose being together, let's say. I don't think that money is the number one thing. The first is health, the second is love. That's how relationships with people are. To have good friends, to have a partner. I wouldn't necessarily say to have love, let's say, whether it's with a partner, a relationship, friends, or family. And family ties also play a role. And then comes money, but it comes and it's very important. I mean money. You might not have health because you don't have money. If something happens to you, how will you go to a doctor? If you have a psychological issue, you want to go to a psychologist, you want to go to a psychotherapist, how will you go? For example, I didn't have money to go until recently to pay for sessions. Yes, I didn't have money to go until recently. For some time, until a year ago, we had nothing. And for a year, I was listening to some other things which in the end didn't help me and actually made me worse.
Do we know which ones you mean? Yes.
Of course, meditations and stuff. Since those two, I realized that I didn't go, let's say, to a psychiatrist. I had first gone to a public one. The doctor at the public clinic told me, okay, it's fine, go to a psychologist instead. But I decided to go to a psychiatrist in the end because I had also gone to a general practitioner, let's say, to rule out other things. I'm the kind of guy who's seen both a general practitioner and a cardiologist. That's the phase I'm in, let's say. But if I didn't have, let's say, 80 euros to give to the psychiatrist who asked for it, how would I go? How would I go?
With...
Empty-handed? And if I made, I don't know, a salary, 1,000 euros, what message would I be sending myself? Would I give 100 euros to the psychiatrist and then would he forget about me? Wow, I gave 100 euros to the psychiatrist. If the psychiatrist isn't good or we don't click in therapy, what will I do?
And it's not something we're unfamiliar with. Does my mother get 1,000 euros? Yes.
Of course, and we see this stress. For example, I suddenly need a dentist. A tooth is ruined. Oh my God.
So,
I want to ask you 3 questions now, and I'll give another example. I want to mention it. A few days ago, for example, Alexandra was stressed because of this situation that happened. She had some chest pain, she had some palpitations. We went to a cardiologist here in Thessaloniki. I paid 50 euros. I didn't even care. Then,
even with blood tests?
let's also do the blood test. Let's check for troponin to completely rule out any heart issues. We go and do the test. Everything is perfect. Thank God. Our kitty is super healthy.
Yes, another 50 euros, but there I understood, yes. I mean, good wishes alone wouldn't have gotten me examined.
And let's say that if we made less money, we'd be in a situation. Would it hurt our soul to give that money?
Yes, that's not good either.
New psychosomatic pain, then the little cat on the chest, calmness. So, I want to ask you, do you believe that true, let's say, love and friendship exist? Should we focus on those 2 things? Yes, I believe there is both love and friendship, especially friendship, more than in relationships. I think it's because in relationships there's also passion involved and other things get mixed in. I believe friendships exist, they're just rare. Do you have friends? You? Yes, of course.
Okay, to be honest, I don't have close friends. And especially since we started creating content, most of the friends I had from before drifted away even more. Maybe because of embarrassment, since it's something very extreme. What we do...
We've made some friends from Agati,
Okay.
who you might talk to. We see them very often.
Yes.
But still, let's say there's a deep connection from previous years. And whenever, let's say, we meet or whenever we talk, there's a very pleasant atmosphere and there's love between us.
I think yes, but what I believe is that regarding what they asked, there can be love. Very little time had passed. We had spoken with a spiritual advisor and he told us that true love is to do what Christ did. To go to the cross for the other person, meaning to sacrifice yourself. If someone does that, yes, they truly love. To tell you the truth, I don't do it 100%, obviously. Do you do it?
Yes.
I do it 100%, I try.
But I can't say at all that I do it 100%.
If you do that, bravo. Do you truly love yourselves? Is that what I'm telling you?
The more we do it, the more beautiful it is.
Yes, and you should know that it might be what your ego is telling you. Oh, why should I do this? Will I get something back? Don't worry. Even if it doesn't come back from the same person, in some way in your life, it's certain that it will come back to you. So give and you will definitely receive.
Let's skip the part about getting something back. Give of yourself, try to be as good as you can. But he also had the humility, let's say, to admit, you know what? I'm not a saint, I'm not perfect, I'm not necessarily good.
But I want to become a saint.
You have to have this humility, I believe, because you need to have this humility. Life itself shows it, and in this way, as life itself shows it. It's like Christ appears before you and says, you know what? And you should try to love as much as possible. And you will carry the cross for the other person and for yourself in the end, and you will also be humble altogether.
All right.
Would you consider starting a family?
No.
After living together in our own house and seeing how many chores there are, I can tell you that for the next 10 years we wouldn't want anything. To have kids.
Me neither.
If I see how much responsibility and commitment it is to maintain and take care of a house, how much more is it to have a child? I mean, Themos, what if the child gets sick? Should I take them to the doctor? They have to be my priority. But what if I haven't managed to get all my finances in order? All my psychological issues, all her psychological issues, all her finances. Even if you have your whole relationship in order, if everything is perfectly organized, you still don't start a family. That's the way I think, however. If we all follow this logic, our species won't survive. All right? But if it's God's will for a child to come, of course we will keep it.
I notice that you are very mature for your age. I see that many people at 24 still live differently.
But that's why we can also be very immature. No, he isn't immature about serious matters, otherwise I wouldn't have chosen him. What we want is exactly what you said, to do everything right. Because we've seen our parents and people around us do so many things so wrong, we absolutely don't want to repeat that.
But biology is also a factor. I mean, I'll say that I would prefer 35, to have started a family by 35, and for my wife to be around that age too, maybe 36. Because it's also a bit about that. You want, let's say, your kids to be 20 years old and for you to be at least 55 so you can communicate with them, so they don't have to worry about you. That their dad or mom is old, and they don't want to upset them. So maybe I think the ideal age range for having kids is up to 30. It's good for the child not to worry too much about their parents.
Would you say 4?
The father is 60, the mother is 52. Fortunately, they're at ages where I'm not too worried, but her parents, who are older, she's more worried about them, let's say. Or for grandparents as well. I started worrying at an older age than Alexandria, who had much older parents and grandparents. Her grandma is G. We worry much more about Idia since I know Norvidavio.
I want to ask you, the cat and kitty, how did those come about?
Those started long ago from our first year with them. We didn't create them for the contest.
Now it's been 5 years?
We created them once by chance because we took a test, what animal are you? And it turned out that cats suited us.
Okay, but that happened because I used to call her Mouse because of her protruding teeth, and I would show her mice, and she was disgusted by mice and the earth. I teased her all day for her reactions, and she said, "I'm breaking up with you." So I say, was I addicted to the joke? I was addicted to making the same joke all day, and because I was addicted to that joke, I thought, should I find a substitute? What's the substitute? Cat? Should I call her Cat? I was telling her, you're gray, you're furry, you have a tail. Are you a gray mouse? That's what I was saying at first. And then I said, a gray kitty. And that's how I got over the joke, because I was getting her reactions of disgust. Until I said mouse, but I wasn't saying mouse.
Until I said kitty?
Until I said this kitty. And so that's how the cat nickname started. Then, after the little test, I started meowing all day just for fun.
Anyway, all the men, let me just say this. All the men who want me tell me they like my teeth, but I don't like my teeth.
Oh, did he say that to you too?
Yeah, he told me not to fix them. He said, your teeth are unique, I like them.
Oh, Legamenos told you that too.
Look.
Should I make comparisons? I don't want to, in other areas.
No, Brahatuli, I'm not making comparisons. Okay, I take it back completely. Were you just joking?
Okay, shall we move on?
Yes.
Let's push back a little against the crowd.
I want to ask you if you believe strongly in God.
This was mostly answered earlier based on our previous discussion.
Spiritual, whatever you were saying.
We've talked about it. Don't we have a spiritual advisor?
We're trying to find one?
We're trying. We're in the searching phase, but we do believe, and it's not just now, we believed last year too, and the year before, and the year before that. I've gone through a period of searching through atheism and agnosticism from when I was 15 until I was 18. The same goes for Alexandra. But we believe that we have a deep faith.
I thought I'd ask you where you would invest, let's say, your money. What would you do in terms of investing? Well, because as you save money, you have to put it to use somewhere, right? Let's say
real estate prices have gone through the roof, but I would consider it maybe Beyond that, I might consider, since I've been hearing about a bear market lately, like in crypto, I might think about that too. But it takes a lot of work, a lot of dedication, and maybe I would also invest in myself, like to learn more. Like I told you, Pala, I read Robert and Giosakis, Grant Cardone. What should I read now? Yes, I've seriously thought about doing things like that, even if it doesn't go perfectly. I mean, you try.
Why did you come to Thessaloniki? Why would you leave Greece?
In general, we're not thinking about that for now.
Since I came here, I really like it a lot. It's awesome. The lifestyle in Greece is great. There are great people, and people are really friendly. And in general, I feel like we have this not only in Greece, but in the Balkans in general. I mean, if I were to leave for another country, I would leave Albania, Romania, Bulgaria, especially Albania, which is very close to Ioannina. Yes, I mean, I feel like the Balkan people have this kind of laid-back attitude, and it's the same in Greece. It also combines with the island vibe, and it combines a lot with the sea. We're also further south, we have better weather, so it's great. He hasn't come to Greece.
I want you to tell me now about your parents, what you're doing, how do they see it?
Look, our parents, at least mine, at first they were worried that we wouldn't succeed, and they were like, you should choose the safety of university and a steady job. Once they saw it working, their reservations faded and they even became happy. In the end, we'll do better than with a regular job. They're happy, and what matters most to them is that I'm happy and not feeling pressured by what I do. They were definitely shocked by what I did a little while ago, and my mother had even followed me over there.
When I moved, they were shocked.
But again, they didn't yell at me, they didn't really say anything to me, they were just worried that something might happen to me.
Because with the move, we're stuck deciding whether to do it or not, and still haven't acted.
We are. Ioannina?
Yes, at home. No, Ioannina.
Gara's parents, my mother.
You, your parents, how did they take it?
My parents, the move?
No, the content, the fact that you have succeeded?
The content. Okay, they like that I succeeded financially, if we call it success with money, because like I said, if you don't have more than one source of income, if you haven't created something of your own.
Anyway, the average 24-year-old doesn't make that much.
Yeah.
That's standard. We admit that, but my parents took it very positively. However, what didn't they take positively? That I didn't go to college? They don't care so much about financial success. They're mainly interested in whether I went to college. Because my father is a bit dogmatic as an academic. Right now, imagine he's in China, he's at a university, he's been gone for 10 days. So it's a situation that, you understand. There's a dogmatism around the idea that you have to study, you have to do mathematics, you have to do physics. Maybe a part of him wanted me to continue his career.
Do you believe in mathematics? Do you use math in your life? They definitely help you.
Of course, clearly the way of thinking they gave me, I approach things very strategically. I can also do a lot of mathematical accounting calculations, so I know at any moment how much money is mine and how much goes to the IRS. I always, let's say, look very carefully at my moves based on calculations. Now, you might say everyone can do a calculation, but beyond that, strategic thinking is something that mathematics gives you.
Also, I noticed that even though you make very good money, I don't see you showing it off.
To have bought things.
To show off.
Buy a car? Nothing. We are very simple people. I want you to know that we go out to the same places we used to go 5 years ago when we had nothing. We'll still eat a simple pizza from Everino, with €2 we're good. First of all, I personally don't even feel like I have money, to be honest. Nothing has changed in my mind.
Off camera, I've done some really awesome things. I just did them off camera.
I haven't done anything. Can you tell how impressed I am? Guys, I still dress the same, do the same things, and go to the same places. I don't want to get a big head. Today you have it, tomorrow you don't. But then afterwards...
You've always spent the money, you know what I mean? Until you settle down, until you make something your own. After that. All right.
I don't think we've done anything special, and...
I don't care that we've done something...
Special, yes, very much so.
When someone succeeds, they don't see it. You can't see it from the outside.
I also believe that the way we've handled things so far was very wrong. Way too many pointless trips to Athens, way too many trips to Athens. Which were, for content, but that content we made didn't really benefit us that much. Later, other waste. I would say that moving all the way to Thessaloniki was also a waste. To a large extent, yes.
But now you're living on your own, right?
We are. But when you've built content that's very much about your home, maybe we should have put that money into it.
Okay, I feel like Gatulis here is I made that decision a bit hastily because he was influenced by what happened.
The environment has changed.
Of course, we had been discussing it before as well.
However, I knew one thing for sure. Psychologically, it was bad for her not to leave her house. Psychologically, it affected me too not to live in a house of my own. But it's a fine line between psychology and content. From then on, though, a lot of people wanted content from the house we were sharing. So we might follow a model that suits them, staying many days in Ioannina and many days here. But on the other hand, then I think, why should I have a base here and not just go to an Airbnb in Athens or Thessaloniki whenever I want to be there? In the sense that it's more financially advantageous.
So I have two questions now. One is about the audience that generally watches you. Surely people see you on the street, people talk to you. Of course, how do you take that? Because surely being famous, let's say, it also creates other things in your mind.
That's true. But what happens now? There are so many creators right now that being famous has been devalued. Yeah, it's not like it was, 20 years ago when you were a singer and there were 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 famous people. Who is really famous now, if everyone is considered famous? What can I tell you, bro? There are 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 famous people. So basically, it doesn't have the same value. I would replace the word famous with the word viral and recognizable. We are recognizable. Right now, we are viral. People ask for photos from those who are viral. Tomorrow or the day after, we'll be recognizable again, but not viral.
That's true.
I see it. That's how it goes. There are, let's say, creators like, for example, Tse. Yes, he's definitely recognizable, but he's not at this time.
Viral is about the numbers. You see 1 million.
The numbers are one thing. How viral you are in people's minds is another.
Yes, then you move on to the legend phase, I think. You move on to the legend phase.
But the viral thing ends, and then, let's say, I believe things calm down, like with countless photos and all that. It's a bit stressful, I would say.
Sometimes, especially when you have a job or other problems and people are reading about you.
That is especially if you have another problem. But beyond that, just like someone else has an 8-hour job, I also appreciate the people who come and greet us.
They say you chose this. If you didn't want it, you shouldn't have uploaded videos.
Subtitles, author wave, no.
Well, what did I choose?
Do people like you?
No, us. Always positive comments.
The only negative experience we had was during a stream. I don't want to mention it so we don't remind people, let's say, because there was a bad trend some time ago. Kids, bothering a streamer. And I don't just mean that particular streamer, I mean others as well. The trend spread to anyone doing a live stream on the street. Thankfully, this trend has slowly started to end.
A very bad trend.
A very bad trend, and the fact that it was reproduced on television was also to blame. All the channels that aired this as news. They helped, involved more kids, and parents shared and discussed it. I don't think that was a good thing, but slowly this trend is starting to end, and I believe that soon streamers will reappear who will do their thing undisturbed. Like it used to be, a few years ago when this trend didn't exist.
If you could make money without showing your face, would you choose that? Would you prefer not to show yourself and still make the money you want?
I think we have different opinions on this. Katulis says yes, I say no. I like having access to an audience and being able to say a few things.
I really like having that access.
I really enjoy doing live streams on the cat's TikTok. He doesn't like it much, but I do because it's a direct way to connect with many people. I don't turn on the camera knowing 500 to 1,000 people will see me at any moment. Well, obviously I like it, but not in a show-off way.
I would say it's a bit show-offy, Gata.
In the sense that I might know something and explain it to people.
Let's move on to the last message now so we can get to the audience questions. You'll see them. And then a message you'd like to share with the people watching us. For the young people, maybe some advice.
What I would advise young people our age is not to underestimate the importance of taking care of their health, because I notice that all our peers don't take care of their health. Whether it's what they eat or other habits like poor sleep in general, this isn't going well. We need to take better care of our health because the day will come when we'll appreciate it and it will be too late. Me included. And we need to find a way to have some mental balance, because I believe that many people don't recognize the connection between lifestyle and mental balance. I mean, come on, you can't be drinking energy drinks, coffee, smoking, drinking alcohol, and doing all that, and then ask why you feel depressed. Obviously, those things play a role too, so people need to start rethinking things, starting from their habits.
I still have panic attacks even though I don't drink or smoke.
You're probably doing something else too. I really believe that everything comes from somewhere. I always think everything has a source. Sometimes it's in the body,
And then I don't sleep well and...
this and other things, and especially it's not a completely proper treatment. Or because of the air we breathe. All of these things, I mean, we need to start paying attention to them. I deal with these things a little bit. Let me tell you how I can have a healthier life, because I believe it plays a very big role in mental balance as well. It's better, to improve my diet, for example, rather than taking medication for depression.
You, Vasilis, any advice?
One piece of advice from me? Just one? Really?
Huh? Just one?
So let's say one piece of advice I would give, I would take it in a different direction. It's for kids to become financially independent as early as possible.
This is the last one.
This is the last one. Yes.
The right way, many people are searching for what is right, what isn't, and all that, and they're hustling.
Something else. I just thought of it. Should we include it? Let me know. Also, tell us what happened to you.
Yes.
If Vasilis was seeing another girl,
Yes.
would you leave him if he got caught for that?
If she saw him now, you mean? After what Fry did? Now this year?
Let's say.
What? Let him go with the other girl? Yes.
What did you do with Vasilis?
I shouldn't. It wouldn't be up to me whether to let him or not, because logic says that an adult does whatever they want, but I would definitely be very upset, and more. Because I have a sense of justice, I wonder if I deserve this, if it's punishment for what I did.
He means, would you forgive me?
Yes, of course I would be obliged to forgive.
I think it would be the right thing to do, though, because we need to look at ourselves first.
Yes, but unfortunately I was obliged to forgive.
Me. I shouldn't say, great, he messed up.
Unfortunately? Do you have the right to be with another woman within 48 hours? Unfortunately, you have that right.
A question came to me and I said no.
Of course, that's a nice question.
So, do you want to go?
Question yes?
The questions are a bit strange.
Yes, do you think so?
I don't even know if we should say them.
Say them, say them.
I mentioned them, then cut them off.
You're stricter than us, we're more lenient.
Maybe we...
Cut them.
Let's see what you mean. Strange.
So, what do Gatulis' parents think about all this? About his relationships and not only that?
Do they think that I shouldn't have taken Gata back? That's their main fundamental opinion. My mother doesn't say anything to me because she prefers to have a very good relationship with me. My father doesn't say anything to me anymore, but I don't think he's okay with it. While my mother's more like, it's my child, I'm not going to get hung up on this, whereas my father takes it very dogmatically.
Yeah, so it's not allowed to accept that?
Yeah.
Look, she's not wrong using common sense, but I believe that in this particular case, since the circumstances were a bit more special, we should show a little leniency, not because it's me.
Thank you here, it says. Mitsos the unemployed asks, how is the kitty feeling? Did I leave you for 2 days so I could talk?
How do you feel? You don't feel good, do you?
I don't feel good about what he did. I feel that he caused quite a few problems when you sent him, that we moved so suddenly. It coincided with many earthquakes happening in Ioannina during that period, which made it much easier for us to get up and leave.
That would have happened no matter what I did. I didn't cause the earthquake. I am Enceladus.
That plays a big role because we have a serious history with many major seismic sequences in Ioannina. I mean, it doesn't stop for months. And somehow, let's say that hastened it. And, okay, it kind of derailed my whole Athens phase, this whole story, very intensely, because I was at a point where I didn't want to live in the same city anymore, you know. I was kind of in that mindset there.
You tell them.
So Gatu's parents raised him. And if you think...
They are responsible for what? Responsible for which one?
For psychological issues, which are your health, of course, 100%.
But why? Did you see that? How do you feel?
First of all, everything was way too prepared. There's excessive overprotectiveness. Not in a way that they're worried about me, but more like controlling what I'll do, like having everything ready for me. You know, like not putting me in a process of becoming independent. Yeah, financial insecurity in my childhood too. And beyond that, the other thing I saw at home, fears. I mean, I saw fears from being alone at home.
What do you mean?
What she was saying before.
Can you be afraid? How will she notice me without them?
Katulis had mental illnesses and you have to Gata.
I can answer that. I had panic attacks more sporadically. I had various issues with panic attacks and health anxiety. All of that had already been there before.
You thought the cat was from the house, but wasn't that me?
Yes, those started very intensely for me during the pandemic. What made them really intense was the pandemic, but they felt overwhelming as soon as I found the cat.
How are they brave enough to discuss their psychological issues? Does it take a long time?
Look, we talk about them.
They're not ashamed.
Because let me tell you something, if you talk about it, I believe you can only benefit. You might, first of all, by talking about it, find someone who is willing to help you.
I found a lot of people who basically relate.
Also, we believe that since everyone has something, why should we hide? I mean, we actually want to show others that you don't need to treat it as something bad, to hide it and feel guilty about it.
Part of our channel is sharing our personal lives.
That's essentially our channel.
But since you were little, were you always like this, wanting to be seen?
Not to be seen, you know, in what way?
I liked cameras since I was little, I mean.
Wherever I saw.
A journalist, whenever I saw something, let's say I wanted to photobomb, for example, or I took a lot of photos. But okay, it's not like I had some obsession or some quirk.
I definitely liked the camera, and I already said that I liked pretending to be a presenter and things like that here.
She says, what advice would they give the new generation absorbed by social media about the site?
What would they give? They will offer this advice. To keep watching a lot of social media, to see what the creators are doing, and as soon as they become adults, to start making content themselves.
Everyone will do it for
the bravest ones, I'll say now. And for the rest who aren't as brave, I'll say. Those who come from well-off families either follow their parents' businesses or study and have a good time.
I would say that we can't blame social media for social anxiety because they're not at fault. It's just that people overanalyze things. They have plenty of free time with everything ready for them, yet they just sit and think, I have social anxiety. If something tragic happened to you, you would easily forget about social anxiety. Give me a break with this social anxiety stuff. Talk to them, they won't bite.
So guys, the others, I can't ask.
They're strongly opposed to it. Can you give an example out of curiosity?
Do you want to see them?
Out of pure curiosity, yes.
See them?
See the nice ones. Okay, what will it say?
Whatever.
So has the groom jerked off to Amphiponistus? Or, that's not possible? Because that would have happened by now.
The kitty shaves. Isn't that a bit extreme for us?
Okay, the kitty shaves when she can. The kitty...
Will she ever send nudes? Can she do that too?
No, I have never sent such things.
Do Gatuli's parents see what he uploads? Is that okay?
Are you going to have a threesome with the Amphiponistus? That? No, of course we won't answer that. Gatulis and Amphiponistus have already done it. Look, this has already been answered on TikTok. Basically, yeah, since I went there for 2 days, it happened. Unfortunately, what I've said is that during those 2 days, we lived as a couple. With everything that comes with that, that's it, be careful.
Because that's exactly what it is. Yes.
I'm paying attention to those things.
Do you want us to end the video?
Yes, yes, yes.
Ah, and more subscription questions as well.
How long have they been together? The leg, how long has the cat had it? Does he mention that in the subscriber-only content?
Yes, how long the cat has had it is subscription only.
If Ergosmitis asks how, does the kitty care? Did she leave you for 2 days? So does the kitty care that she left you? Okay, I look regretful, to be honest. What do Gatulu's parents think about all this? Also, did we mention how often the kitty bathes? It's every 3 or 4 days.
Guys, what did you think? The episode?
It was very nice.
Well, thank you. I think it was a nice episode.
We thank you for letting us get to know and from
Other questions that you
asked you, of course, about the chicken.
Anyway, we thank you very much. It was a very nice discussion, and we're glad you brought up topics that cover all aspects of life and not just about the world.
And let's also subscribe here to Costa's channel. For those of us who haven't, let's boost the video, give it a like.
Hype or not, subscribe to our channel and become a member.
So, thank you all for staying until the end. Let's wrap up the video. Bye.
Bye.